Well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host, Josh. I am back. Kind of got all salted down after what was a very long day on Saturday. I was live for at least 4 to 5 hours. Got yelled at towards the end of the 5 takeaways, and it was just a lot of frustration. So I just decided maybe not to go live yesterday and just kind of relax. But we have a match little preview here to talk about. I already see a couple Classicer little comments there. We may address some, we may not. But today is looking forward to the second leg of the Champions League round of 16 knockout tie between Borussia Dortmund and Sevilla. We have you guys here. We will be addressing the chat. We see a few of you guys here. Bossbridge 8 is here. I got almost baited. I had to look up Janus from Rennes to realize that it's not a person. I just didn't want to say that live. And yeah, I mean, I am still angry about the Classicer, but all in all, it is what it is. We got to move on. We have a Champions League game to look forward to. We got a lot of season remaining for hunting for that top 4 place. So all in all, I'm pretty excited. And also, if you guys didn't notice, and I wanted to go live yesterday to talk about it, but I was honestly just too done with the day. But I mean, we drew Kiel in the Pokal semifinals, so that's a huge win for us. I mean, out of the remaining ties, not to discredit them at all, because they've obviously knocked out Bayern. They did some wonderful things to get to where they are. But it is the draw I wanted, and especially it's at home as well, so that's fantastic news. That game will be played on the 1st or 2nd of May, so huge thing for you guys. But yeah, I've calmed down a little bit from a very long and busy Saturday, so hopefully you guys are here and we can enjoy some match previews. So, taking a look at the game, if you guys didn't notice, Dortmund, even from the loss against Bayern, is still in relatively good form. In our last 5 games, we've won 4, we drew 0, and we lost 1, and of course, one of those games, a huge victory against Sevilla. Where Sevilla's form, if you guys weren't paying attention, is absolutely atrocious right now. In their last 5 games, they've won 1, drew 0, and lost 4, losing to Barca. I mean, but again, Barca's not a team that's in unbelievably excellent form, but they lost to Barca 2 times, of course, losing to us as well. And yeah, so it's going to be an interesting game. And I have a starting 11 that I think we should talk about for you guys and some players that we should be keeping in mind. But going into the game, even though that we had that tough loss to Bayern, I still don't think it's going to psychologically mess with the team. Mainly because, like I said, I thought, and I could have been wrong, but I thought that the Holland substitution was premeditated. I thought they planned to take him off. They wanted to rest him. It is a huge blow for us, unfortunately, that I don't think Guerrero, he's a hit or miss, but Sancho definitely will not be making the tie. And yeah, so we're going to have a different looking team. Injuries are going to be a bit of a part of us, but we are by far the team on better form going into this game. Of course, we are at home, and we have a 3-2 lead. So all in all, this should be a big victory for us. So before we bring up the predicted starting 11, we'll talk to some of you guys. And yes, I did have to Google it to make sure he wasn't a player. I just wasn't able to put 2 and 2 together. But I hope Dortmund will get back on track against Sevilla. One, we appreciate. One is a Bayern supporter, but he's always been a very positive guy on the channel. Talking Barca says, yo, big up. Serious Collector says hello. Josh, can you wish my friend... I'm afraid to read names out loud right now. I'm getting baited from time to time. I think that's a normal name. Producer T.
She's a porn star, Josh.
Okay, she's a porn star, so no, I can't wish her a happy birthday. Producer T knew who she was. Okay. Yes, Barcelona did get a new president, and that is probably the best call that you could have had for. You literally searched it up. I did. I'm ridiculous. I'm sorry. I just hope Mounier doesn't start tomorrow. I don't think he will. Will Sancho start against Sevilla? No, he will not. So, is Reina still out, Josh? I believe so. I believe he is, but we're going to bring up my predicted start 11. We'll talk to you guys about it. I'm going to stop reading names. We're going to stop asking me who we're targeting. We do get a realistic one, though. We said sell Meunier, sign Hatterbor or Dumfries. I would definitely sign Dumfries. I think he's a fantastic right back, experience, and he would be one. But again, I still think we're going to be stuck with the right backs we have for the better part of the next few years. But here is my predicted starting 11. I don't know what you guys think about it, but I feel like this is probably going to be it. I still think we're going to go with the 4-3-2-1, mainly because we need that extra body in the midfield. We're going to be a little bit more well-balanced than if we went with a 3 at the back or, even, of course, the 4-2-3-1, which if Terzic goes with the 4-2-3-1, that would be absolutely ridiculous, and I don't think he will. Hitz will be in goal. I was relatively happy still with Hitz. I don't really blame him for any of the goals, even though he obviously conceded 4, which isn't a good number, but they were all relatively decent strikes, and there's not much he could have done about it. Marai better be back in at right back. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts. I thought Meunier would have done a job against Bayern, being able to just kind of play a little bit more defensively. He was not, and of course going forward, he was even worse. So it has to be Marai. His pressing game has been fantastic. He's growing in confidence, and he's proving to be our starting right back. So that's who I think is going to be in. The two center backs are going to be Chan, Hummels, no surprise there. I don't see Zagadou starting again. That's just my personal opinion. Not that he had an overly poor game. I thought he got off to a relatively good start, but I still think with just the amount of games, it has to be Chan, it has to be Hummels, and then on left back it's going to be Schultz. It may be Guerrero. I don't know exactly how his fitness is, but from what I'm reading, it seems like the likely scenario is that Schultz does start, and he's had, again, a bit of hit or miss when it comes to playing, so let's hope that Schultz can come in and have a good game against Sevilla. The three midfielders are as usual, man. It's Delaney, Bellingham, Dahoud. There are right now, I think, our most important part of this team. Those three got to be playing together. Those three got to be starting. They bring something a little bit different. Bellingham got a little bit of rest. Delaney and Dahoud are getting a ton of minutes, but it has to be them. It is what it is. And then the front three is an interesting one, but given the fact that I don't believe Gio will be back, Sancho has been ruled out for at least until hopefully around the Frankfurt game. And then Haaland's up front. He got a little bit of rest. There's no way we're starting anybody else up front besides Haaland. It's Haaland, it's Royce, and then my bet is Hazard. I thought Hazard was relatively positive. He got the assist for Haaland's goal. I think it has to be him over Brandt. That is the other option, is if they decide to go with Brandt. But all in all, that is the team I'm predicting. If you guys have any suggestions or anyone you guys think may be starting, but that is the starting 11 I'm pretty confident with. Start Reina. I don't know if he's fully fit. That's the thing. He potentially could be coming back, but I don't honestly know. I definitely hope we don't bottle it as weather. LOL, your friend knew who she was really fast. Yeah, I know that guy. I still don't know why Berkey is starting. He's not starting because he's not on good form, and I think it's been indicated that he's got no future at the club. So it's, in my opinion, it's Hitz for the rest of the season. And Hitz, honestly, has been playing better than Berkey was, so I have no problems with Hitz playing. Josh, who do you think would not want to face in the quarterfinals of the Champions League? I would not want to face Bayern or City. I would like to face Chelsea if we get the option to do so. Potentially Porto, but I don't think Porto will be able to pull off these next leg here against Juve. But Chelsea's probably the team I'd like to see us take on. I don't know how it's going to go. Both teams defensively horrible form, but I still hope we win. I think the fact that we're taking a 3-2 lead at home, and the fact that, like I said to you guys, Sevilla in their last 5 games have lost 4, 1-1. They have not been in good form. They haven't really been able to integrate Papa Gomez as they really thought. He's been playing and pushed out on the wing, which he's not very effective out there, and it's honestly really threw off their team. So I'm feeling relatively confident, but I think that it was indicated in the fact that there was a little bit of rest for the Bayern game. At the end of the game, we had Tigges and Renier on, so it showed that we're really taking this game as seriously as we possibly can, and let's hope that it works and we get a big performance out of it. Or maybe we will continue with the 3-4-3. I wouldn't. I don't think it really gelled the way it was supposed to. I think it just ended up sitting back too deep and taking on too much pressure. We're already going in with a lead. I think this is still just the most balanced formation we could do. I don't think Zagadou is going to get the start, which I think gets rid of the 3-4-3. But if Zagadou did get the start, it would mean one of the central midfielders would have to come out, and I want all three of them in. So this is the formation I'm hoping and thinking that we may go with. The quarterfinal draw is on March 19th at 6 a.m. EST. Well, let's pray that we get someone of the lines of Chelsea. That's what I'm really hoping for. If Juve gets knocked out, I want Porto, as would I. Nah, Josh, Chelsea are so tough. In 11 games, they've conceded 2 goals, and one of them was an own goal. Still not very confident with them up front. They have definitely got better defensively. Tuchel has done a good job there, but out of the remaining fixtures, unless Porto goes through, man, for me, I would like to take on Chelsea. I think they're probably the weakest one to take on, but there's no denying that they are in good form, and Tuchel has done a good job defensively, but I still think they're missing some firepower up front, especially because Timo Werner, Tammy Abraham, their strikers really aren't putting him in the back of the net, so I think that if we can do a job defensively as well, we could potentially break them down. Bayern won't get knocked out. No, I don't think they're going to get knocked out, but I don't want to face them in the quarterfinals for sure. But yeah, and you want Man City and Atletico get knocked out. City definitely won't get knocked out. There's no way Gladbach are going to be able to turn that over. Chelsea are in great form, but guys, take a look at who's going through. Tell me who else would you want to face? I mean, arguably maybe Liverpool. So there you go. Maybe I could change my mind. It would be a nice little reunion with Klopp and Liverpool. Yeah, you know what? You guys do make a good point. You guys do make... I wouldn't honestly mind Chelsea, though. I know that they are on better form, but I'm not overly convinced by them. But Liverpool is a disaster right now. So yeah, arguably that's a good show. That is a good show, and it would be a cool little reunion against Klopp again. So yeah, you know what? You guys might have changed my mind. Maybe it is, but again, it's one of the two, unless Porto go through. Otherwise, I don't want to touch any of the other teams. But yeah, it's gonna be an insane game. We will be doing the watch along here on our YouTube channel. We'll be doing the preview. We've got a very long planned out preview over on Dortmund's Twitch. So if you guys want to join us there, the coverage will be starting a couple hours before the game. So hopefully you guys will come on. We'll talk up the game, see if there's any surprises with the lineup, get into it, and then we'll head over to our YouTube channel for the watch along and pray that we get to the quarterfinals and that the Bayern game is just in the back of our minds and it's not going to be playing a toll on us, and we'll get ready to go. But yeah, you guys are saying that you want Liverpool. And yeah, guys, arguably it's not a bad show. Come on, Dortmund, BVB, and Bayern are really the only ones who have a chance of getting through the quarterfinals, even though the semifinals don't let me down. There we go. Our guy Samuel, little Bayern fan, but again, the Bayern fans are usually pretty good when it comes to cheering on Dortmund in the Champions League. This Leipzig squad can beat Liverpool. Again, I know it's a different competition. Even though Liverpool have been atrocious in the league, it's still a good shout with them. Collab with George Benson Football if you get Tuchel. Yeah, if we get matched up with Chelsea, I'm 100% reaching out to George. I don't know if he'll answer me. Maybe he will. I'll be reaching out. There's a bunch of Chelsea YouTubers, so I'll be reaching out to all of them. And if someone wants to do a collab before the game, I will. Same as if we get locked up with Liverpool. So I mean, it'd be a fun collab before the game. And it's honestly, those are the two teams I would probably want to face if Porto don't go through. It would be Liverpool and Chelsea, because you guys are making a very good shout as to why. But we have to focus on the game at hand first, and that is getting through Sevilla. There is really no reason why we shouldn't, man. Looking on current form, looking at the fact that we're taking a 3-2 away lead into a home game, it would be unbelievable if we couldn't see this thing through. It's going to be hard to see exactly what happens. Liverpool would complement Dortmund's game. IMAX is here. What's going on, my friend? He's got a good eye on the Premier League, being a City fan, and he thinks that Liverpool could be a good matchup against Dortmund. I think it'd be interesting, and their form is awful. But guys, again, when it comes to different competitions, you see a different animal. You've seen teams all the time that don't make it through, that are on poor form. Like, for a good example is when Chelsea won the Champions League. They finished 6th, I think, and they were in atrocious form. They were losing to teams like West Brom, yet to go and beat Barcelona, and then they head away and they head on and take Bayern away as well, because technically it was played in the Allianz Arena. So it will be pretty interesting, guys. Couple key matchups that we want to keep an eye on here. It's going to be Haaland. I mean, he did pick up that knock, but he has to be. He's when in games like this, he's the guy we got to focus on. He's our main man up front. He's going to be the difference maker, and we say that we rely on him, and we do. But, I mean, he does get service. We saw a nice little bit of magic between when Sancho was playing, even though he's not going to be there. But hopefully Hazard can come there to pick up the pieces, and as well as Royce. And they're going to have to do a lot of jobs to get the ball to Haaland, to hopefully put it in the back of the net. We'll match him up with Diego Carlos. I don't think either Carlos or Koundé had a very good game against us in the last outing. So keep an eye on that center-back pairing to have a much better game in this upcoming game. I'm praying that they don't. But they're not in good form, man. So there's a good chance that they're not going to be very strong going into this game. But like I said, it's a different competition. They want to make it through. They want to be able to turn their form around, and this is a perfect opportunity to do that. We saw that the roles were definitely reversed last time. Sevilla had a little bit of injury problems where we didn't, but we were in atrocious form. We won that game, and we saw basically a bit of a turnaround. So it will be an interesting one. But the other little matchup I want to see up front is probably going to be El Nesri. I was basically chirping him because I don't think that he's a very well-rounded striker. I just think he's a little bit too inconsistent for my liking, even though he is doing relatively all right in La Liga. But he was very, very quiet in the first game, and I think he's going to want to have a bit of a reaction here. And we're going to match him up with Emre Can. And matching him up with Emre Can as well, because he's our utility guy, and he's playing in the middle of the park here. He is doing a relatively decent job, so we want to hope that he can continue that. play relaxed, play composed, play the position like it needs to be played, and hopefully shut down El-Nesri in the meantime. It is really a shame that there might only be 2 German teams left in the European competitions. It is, but they both could keep going. I mean, obviously, Bayern has a very good chance of continuing to go, so Dortmund do as well. The Europa League contests were a little bit embarrassing for the Bundesliga sides, but yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how they do. Yes, but Chelsea team had a different mentality. The Reds team, nope. Yeah, they're I don't know what's happening to Liverpool, man. I feel bad for Klopp over there. Koundé has been playing very bad. He has. Him and the entire Sevilla team has been playing really bad, man. Ever since pretty much they got Papu Gomez. Or the loss to Dortmund. I don't know what you want to look at to, but they have not integrated Gomez like they should. He needs to be playing centrally. He is not, and is definitely affecting the way that the team has been playing. Koundé overrated. I like Koundé. I've seen a lot of good things from him, but yeah, he's just not at the level that he needs to be consistency-wise, because he's definitely been slipping a little bit. Would he sign Koulibaly? I would. Will never happen. He's in his prime. He's touching up to 30. Does not fit the profile of Dortmund, and Dortmund will not splash the cash on that type of player. I would take him, but it would never happen. For real, bro, you all think Barca will win the sextuple next season with an 18-year-old kids? No, I don't. I think Barca's going to go in the right direction, but I don't think that they're going to win the sextuple anytime soon. El-Nesri needs 1,000 chances to score. That's well said, and that's exactly how I look at El-Nesri. We've actually been linked to him, if you guys didn't notice that. We've been linked to El-Nesri, and I almost wanted just to laugh, because that is not the striker whatsoever we need. Does not fit. I would not want him. He's just not it. Not for me. He's not my kind of striker. I want a striker who can put the ball in the back of the net every chance he gets, and that is a striker I like to call Erling Haaland. There's not a lot of them out there, and El-Nesri is definitely not at that caliber, in my opinion. So, the way City played against United yesterday, oh my god, Bayern would destroy them. Yeah, that City game was ugly. How many would you let Haaland go for? I wouldn't let Haaland go. I'd try to keep him as long as I can. But I would make a club break the bank if they want to look for him. I'm not too worried about El-Nesri. I'm more worried about Ocampos. Ocampos is a solid player, but again, poor form. The entire Sevilla team has been on poor form, but he is a difference maker. He is a solid winger. He was out of the original Sevilla game when we played him in the first leg, so he could be a good option as well. What's up? Been a minute since I've been here. What the F was up with Saturday's game? Played so well with Haaland, then he goes out, and, well, I don't know, man. For me, the game started off perfect, but then as soon as we were up by 2, we basically got wrecked for the remainder of the first half. Bayern came back, and rightfully so, made it a 2-2 draw. I don't think Bayern did anything special to win in the second half. I thought they were going to run us over. You guys know my opinions on some of the calls. It is what it is. Bayern fans see it one way, we see it the other. It's a part of the game. But like I said, it's hard to blame the ref when we have Tigges and Ranier finishing this kind of game, when they have Lewandowski going in there for his hat-trick. So it is what it is. We didn't get the points. We move on. We still have a good chance to finish top 4 and be focused on the Sevilla game midweek. But yeah, welcome back, Nigel. It has been a while. It was a very frustrating game. The comment section was intense in the takeaways. I was getting abused, but I took it with my head up. It was fine. It is what it is. I think that we will put forward a defensive lineup tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. No worry, Josh. Dortmund will win easily. Juan's a good guy. He is a good guy. He's a Bayern fan, but he's a respectable one. Bayern cheated. No comment. Will Man City win the Champions League this season? I don't know. I think they have a fair shot. I think Bayern and City are arguably the favorites. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm just trying to forget the game that shall not be mentioned. Well said, Alex. Well said. But yeah. I don't know, guys. It should be fun. It should be fun. We're not going to be here for too much longer. We're going to wrap it up. But like I said, we will be over on the preview for the game tomorrow. It will be on Dortmund's Twitch. It was a lot of fun, the preview we did for the Bayern game. We're doing it again for the preview for the Sevilla game. So come and join us. We'll have a lot to talk about. We'll have some highlights of the first leg. And just, some cool little videos for you guys to enjoy. And as well as ask me as many questions. And hopefully we'll get the exact lineup when it does drop. Then we'll head over to our YouTube channel for the watch along tomorrow. It should be a lot of fun. You guys have been nothing but supportive. It's been a frustrating couple days, but on the bright side, we got a beautiful draw in the Pokal. We got a big game to play tomorrow, and hopefully go to the quarters, and then we will get our Bundesliga season again back on track after those wins. But I'll do one last question here. It says, Josh, I have a question. Do you feel confident about tomorrow's game? Because I already saw how it went without Sancho against Bayern. I am confident. I know it sucks that we have a very well-informed Jadon Sancho not being able to play. But I still feel confident. We're taking a 3-2 lead to a home game, which is, I mean, that's a tough tale to try to turn around, man. On top of the fact that Sevilla is in atrocious form. Absolutely terrible form. They are not playing anything where they needed to be. And, yeah, I mean, I'm confident. There's no reason, even without Sancho, we shouldn't be able to get through tomorrow. And if we don't get through, it is going to be ugly. It's going to turn ugly very, very quickly. So let's pray for the best. I have confidence in the boys, and I think that we'll be able to get the job done. So that is all. I'm not going to give a prediction. Or am I? No, I'm not. Maybe I'll give a prediction at some point tomorrow. But, yeah, you guys have been absolutely fantastic. Through the Bayern game, you Dortmund fans have been, you know, very, very positive. Helped to get it through because it was a very frustrating day. But we got a big game to look forward to tomorrow. Cannot wait to do it. We'll be live for, again, probably a total of like 4 to 5 hours tomorrow, depending if even the game goes overtime. But, yeah, I have a good feeling, guys. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. The chat will be a lot of fun. And until next time, guys, drop a like on the way out. Try to pump it up as much as you can. It really helps us with the algorithm. And, yeah, we got Boss Bridge is going to be there in both. So take care, guys. Comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.